This is an Asphalt Studios production.
Today's episode is brought to you by Omio. Omio is a travel booking platform that makes planning a journey in Europe and North America effortless. Just enter your travel details and Omio will magically give you all the train, bus, flight, and ferry options for your journey. It's never been simpler to book your first real vacation for 2021. Best of all, using Omio saves you time and money. That's a win-win in our books. Omio wants to help you leave your house this summer by offering 5% off your next booking. Just head to omio.com and use the code LISTENER5 at checkout. Valid until July 31st for new users on all modes of transport. It's just the pick-me-up 2021 needs. Omio. Plan, book, and love the journey. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello and welcome to the world of igloos, and thank you for tuning in to Tangent Tabletop. I'm your DM, Tazmen Couie, and I'm joined here today by two maybe dead characters, Erin, Elzea.
Mink, Manvagoo, and I was getting to that point. Don't
I was ready
me.
for you not to.
No, I've been
so
ready.
ready.
I am like the A+ D&D player.
You're currently in the most fucking horrific, like, half between your own voice and between Mink's voice, and I need you to pick one.
Okay.
Because it is eldritch horror listening to this.
Oh, okay. Rat, her pet mouse, became her pet because he smelled the fresh cheese in her pocket. Thus why she started the cheese pocket.
Hell yeah, cheese pocket.
Cheese pocket.
Bryson Bierman.
I'm Nick Dewrider, hero of legend. I'm not dead, I'm just asleep for a few hours. My fun fact is when Nick does find himself dreaming, he dreams of a very mundane life. It's not like his goal, it just is what he tends to dream about when he's asleep, and probably is what he's dreaming about right now, as he's knocked out by the molars of a frog.
Maybe. And let's welcome our newest player to the table, Erin Deaton.
It's actually Nectar, but thank you.
Hell yeah.
Powerful.
And we have a lovely little character trailer to roll to learn a little bit about Nectar. So let's go ahead and do that now.
Hello there. Don't mind me, I'm just taking a note of the stars tonight. It's not quite as strange as you may think. My life? I know you probably don't see many fairies, but really, my life hasn't been all that exciting. Oh, alright. If you want to know about me that badly, my earliest memories are probably of staring up at the stars with my father Algus. Do you know, he was actually a human. Yeah, claims he found me in a field one day or something like that. Wild, I know. My childhood was pretty normal otherwise, I reckon. Unfortunately, he passed away when I was still a kid, so I decided to hit the road. It's not like I had much of a reason to stick around on land I didn't own, so I went looking for a new home, and let me tell you, all I found were mean-spirited people and stinky food. However, I did spend some time in a different land. The Feywild, they called it. There were other fairies, and the luscious forests and flower fields you could ever imagine. Delicious foods and drinks, it was amazing. Actually, that's where I learned how important the stars really are to everyone. They often can tell you more than a blabbering mouth ever could. You'd think I would have just stayed there, but something inside wouldn't let me. I've always had this feeling, you know, like I was meant to do something important. And over all these years, I feel like I'm finally getting closer to it. Or maybe farther away. I've just got to remember what Algus always said to me. The stars will guide you home when you get lost, Nectar. I love you.
Okay, so are there any questions about our new character, Nectar?
Are you a top or a bottom?
That was what I was going to ask.
Okay, so I actually came prepared for this question. And
Nectar's a switch.
the unfortunate
That's what
answer.
Mink is.
The unfortunate answer is neither.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Asexual. Powerful. Or is he just constantly fighting with whoever he's banging? Who's to say?
No one's quite sure.
Or does he constantly fuck on the side so nobody is? Like when you side sleep, but that's just how he fucks.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many different ways that we can go
So
about
he's a
this.
spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a big
He's a
spoon or a little spoon?
I guess we will learn along the way.
I hope we don't. Actually, no, we've got an explicit tag on this. We could learn.
Okay, Mr. Deaton, do you have any questions about the world of Iglos before we get going? We can do a quick, session 0 type thing real quick if you want to, or we can get right into it.
I've been listening, so I think I'm good.
Okay.
I did forget a fun fact, though. I think...
That's okay, I didn't want you to have a fun fact.
Okay,
this
fine,
one.
I won't have a fun fact.
You can, if you have one, go ahead.
Your fun fact was your name, honestly.
That's true.
And what a
good
fun
name.
name it is.
I don't really know where the name even came from. It just was there. It was the only name that worked.
Hey.
It does work.
Well, thank you.
Hell yeah. Okay. Everybody ready to do a little recap then? Alright, fine. Yeah,
No, that's what Nick's doing right now.
that's accurate.
I don't think you ever snore when you've been knocked out, but
No, Nink's also out.
I know.
Nink's dead.
Well, I still have to make my death saves, so she's not dead yet. Bitch.
Last session, Mink and Nick entered the general location circled by Thornhill Sr. on your map, detailing the location of the rumored colony of elves living in the forest between the Carnadian City and Elcor's Swallow. As you did so, you began to trek through some wetlands, and after losing your way through the swamp, you called out to the elves after recalling a conversation you had with some tree ants earlier in your journey, and they have a way of finding you. And although the elves didn't show up, your calls did not go unheard. A giant python lurking in the murky waters was drawn to the noise, but you made quick work of the beast, and after a few hours you decided it was best to give up for the night and set up camp in the trees. As you did so, your horses were attacked by 2 giant toads, and the battle seemed to be going favorably until one of the toads caught Nick, his head in its dirty, dirty mouth, chomping down and crushing his head. Nick was knocked out into a coma for 22 hours and fell into the water and began drowning. Thornhill Jr. then sacrificed himself to save Nick by picking up his unconscious
Whoa.
unconscious
Stop saying
body.
cunt, dude. Jesus. You have a kid.
And where do you think he came from, Bryson?
Hey. All right, huge. I'm telling Maddie you said that because I know she doesn't listen to the podcast.
Well, that is what vaginas are called, my dear friend.
Hey. All right. Powerful.
Yeah. And putting him on his horse and giving its big booty a smack, sending her running to safety. Thornhill was then swallowed alive by one of the toads, and as Mink realized she couldn't defeat the monsters alone, she tried to run only to meet the same fate. As her body fell limp in the acid, or flaccid in the acid if you will, and she began to slip out of consciousness, she saw a bright light and felt a small glimmer of hope as a calming warmth came over her body. And before we get into this episode, I want to give a possible trigger warning, because we'll be exploring some character backgrounds. And I'm not sure if you've picked up on it yet, but one of our characters, Mink, has some pretty shitty characters in their backstory, and they're just real pieces of shit. So.
Sorry.
Mink isn't sorry.
Erin's sorry. I mean, Dungeon Mommy is sorry.
No, I'm also sorry.
Is sorry.
I'm also sorry. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Nectar,
Hello?
you've just set up camp for the night. A slight breeze is rustling through the leaves, and the chirping of crickets fills the air over the calming crackle of your campfire. You pull the driest log you can find close to your fire and begin setting up to make yourself dinner for the night. What are you making?
I'm probably making, like, a vegetable medley,
Okay.
if it's available. If it's not available, I might, like, hunt a rabbit or something, but that's very last choice.
Let's roll a survival check to see if you can find some wild veggies.
Alright. 16.
Yeah, I'd say you find. What exactly? What are you looking for exactly?
Really anything at all that will, like,
Okay.
that I can munch down on.
All right. Yeah, you find some wild mushrooms. You find some wild carrots, and maybe a few potatoes or something here and there. Do you like bring any like seasonings with you when you're traveling?
No, I use the seasonings of the forest.
All right.
Find some raw parsley.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. All right. So after you, as you sit down with your warm bowl of veggie medley, you take a moment to soak the calm in. It's, been a rough day of travel, as it usually is when you're traveling through these woods, having just trudged through a swamp. And you're looking forward to crossing the border into O'Brien. The elves have been nicer to you in the past than the humans have, but as that thought crosses your mind, the rest of the forest has gone silent, and you look up towards the stars as you usually do so when anything goes wrong. And one of the stars that you've been tracking has completely disappeared off your map.
I think Nectar's immediately scrambling to grab, like, the star charts that I have and just, like, checking them over and over and over again.
Okay. So yeah, as you check those charts, you're certain that something should be there, but it's not. And you kind of get the feeling that something big is going to happen.
That star was Mink, and that's confirmation that she's dead.
No, it's not!
Mink, make your death saving stuff.
Fine, I will roll one.
No,
of them.
we'll get to you in a minute.
Roll.
So how does Nectar handle that news?
Well, I feel like Nectar, like, starts freaking out, but then just immediately calms down and just begins, like, pulls out another, like, tiny flat rock and just starts, like, etching immediately, like, where the stars are at the moment, just to, like, have that, like, a quick etch, and then just probably just scanning the forest for any, like, weird activity.
Okay. As you do so, you don't notice anything kind of nearby. It's just this normal chirping of crickets. The kind of comes back into listening view. I don't know. Earshot. That's the word. As you kind of... Are you guys so lucky to have me as a DM? Listening
We're
view?
so freaking lucky.
I'm so
Listening
lucky.
view?
Yeah, you kind of, all that noise that had gone silent, that gave you the opportunity to notice this strange event, has slowly faded back into earshot, and everything seems to be going back to normal. But yeah, something big happened in the world.
I'm not totally sure how Nectar would respond in this moment, because I don't feel like Nectar thinks that they have the ability to, like, solve this right now.
That's fair.
You've got a fly speed. Go up and find the star.
That's a good idea, though. I might zip into the air and just kind of like hover above the tree line.
Okay. Yeah, as you hover above the tree line, you really nothing changes. You kind of get the feeling that whatever happened wasn't nearby, but it's something that you should definitely keep an ear out for as you pass through cities to kind of figure out what the hell just happened.
Here's a fun note. Did we ask him to describe himself and just tell class and race and stuff?
No.
That is a fun note. No, we didn't.
It is a fun note. Let's not.
Color it as we go.
Yeah.
Well, the most notable thing you'd notice about Nectar is the gigantic, massive matted hair that's going all over the place, like Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Ball Z stuff, but not nearly as cool and kempt. Just everywhere. My skin's pink, like cerise. And it looks like it twinkles. Not totally sure.
You're a fairy.
I'm a fairy. That is important.
Taz, what the fuck? It's Pride Month, Taz. Jesus Christ.
And I have butterfly wings that also twinkle. They're pretty. They're small. I'm small. I have big old round eyes.
You're like 4 feet, right?
What did I put? 3'8"? Yeah.
Okay.
You're taller than Mink.
Hell yeah.
Whoa. Mink stays the smallest.
As always, Erin must be the shortest person in the room.
Oh yeah.
I think that's it.
There is
yeah.
something about Nectar that you kind of brought to my attention that I don't know if you want to kind of explore through the world, but you're talking about how they're not really, they don't really identify as either gender, which is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Non-binary?
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
making the character, and I didn't really have a reason for that. I was just writing it, and I came to the conclusion, like, I don't know what gender they are, and I don't know if it matters.
Yeah,
So I kind of just left it there.
I would say it doesn't really matter. They can identify as whatever they want,
Yeah.
whenever they want.
Oh, and, like, clothing-wise, I just like robes, druidic robes, kind of flowy.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So that's Nectar.
Sorry for interrupting. I just noticed as you were talking, and I said,
Yeah,
that, "Oh,
no,
you have
you're
a fly
good.
speed." It's like everyone was probably like, "What do you mean he has a fly speed?"
Yeah, we kind of talked about it a lot about his character, so I completely spaced that we didn't even say anything. But yeah, so yeah, you fly up, you realize there's nothing that you can immediately do, and this is more of like a sign of either something big has just happened in the world or will be happening soon. And that's the information you're stuck with for the night. What's the rest of your nightly routine? How do you handle this news? All that fun stuff.
I go back to the, and do, like, a full etching on that stone that I pulled out, and
Okay.
I mostly just kind of reflect, meditate on, like, everything. Try to, like,
All right.
feel the vibe of the forest, if you will. And
Vibe check.
So, how does this meditate? Is this what you usually do?
yeah, it's literally just, like, what you imagine when you think of meditation, just, like, sitting there, like, breathing in time, and just trying to, like, let the energies flow through you, as it were.
Okay. All right. So as you do so, we're going to head over to Nick, find out a little bit what's going on with him, and then we'll come back to you shortly.
What do I see?
Yeah, Nick, you see the back of your eyelids. No.
Nice.
So we're gonna do a little bit of flashback. So you're standing on the back of the giant toad, your spear in hand, preparing to slam the spear down into the beast. You lift it up and over your head, blood and sweat dripping from your brow, but before you can plunge it into the beast, the other toad leaps at you, catching you in its jaw and pulling you down into the murky water. You try to steady yourself as you land and pull yourself away, but it's too late. The beast's slimy, bony gums bite down on your head with a loud crunch, and everything goes black. Your lungs begin to burn as your body instinctively breathes in as you hit the water. You feel yourself become weightless before your body is dropped onto the side of a horse, causing you to cough up the water. Through faded black and slow blinks, you see Mink and Thornhill battling the toads as you get farther and farther away. And as you take one final look, you know it's not going well, but the only energy you can muster is one final blink before. The sounds of knights echoes through the courtyards. "Keep at it, soldiers!" The familiar voice of Master Valda booms over the sounds of soldiers mastering the sword forms in the early hours of the morning. You look down in your hands to see a torn sash. What do you do?
I probably finger the sash and try to remember
Finger
what I
the
was...
sash!
Yeah, you know, like run my hands over it, you perverts. I grab a random individual and begin to finger them. I kind of run my hand over the staff and I kind of look up into the clouds and like just try to remember what I was even supposed to do with this.
Yeah. So as you were mastering your sword forms with Master Valda, you came out a little bit earlier than everybody else, as you usually do. And you didn't realize Master Valda had walked up behind you. And as you swung your sword around, your sword tore through his sash. And he has sent you to go get it repaired.
Okay, cool. I kind of cringe with a little bit of embarrassment, and I head on my way to the crafter's quarter.
Oh, yeah. So as you enter the shop, you're greeted by a beautiful woman, smiling with deep dark green hair that sits on her shoulders with a wave that could rival the ocean and glistens a brilliant color as the light from the open door reflects off of it. Hi, what can we do you for today?
Hi, I'm getting this sash repaired for Master Valda, and I kinda pass it over to her.
What happened to it?
Some complete idiot accidentally swung his sword and cut it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, you're right. What an idiot, huh?
What a fucking moron, if I'm being completely candid.
So, you're with the Knights then? The Knights of Honor?
In training.
In training?
Yeah, but someday, hopefully.
What is it that you do exactly with them? Or what do they do, I guess?
We kind of act as some form of fighting force for both the military and any... It's hard to explain, but anything that concerns divinity, I guess, if you want to describe it like that.
Oh, that's really cool. Do you guys, like... And she, like, starts, like, mimicking having a sword and, like, swinging around over her head just chaotically. And she's like, do you guys, like, what are your practices like?
I describe maybe one of the katas where we swing in white arcs. I don't do any of the motions. I just describe it like, you know, forward motion, left slash type of thing.
She listens like very intently, and you can see like a like small smile on her face as she's like deep in thought, and you see her kind of trying to mimic what you're explaining.
I maybe noticed that, and I'm like, what temple do you belong to? Do you not do any combat training with yours, or?
Oh, yeah, I'm the with the Temple of Gigner. Bryson.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked too much about what her order is, Emeralds.
Yeah, so...
What would their training be like? Do they do any combat?
They are likely sent out to... They aren't really sent out in any combat situations. Gignir thinks fighting is kind of stupid in general. He's got no time for it. He thinks it's profane to destroy when you can create, so that tends to
fair.
be what his order holds to.
Okay. Yeah, no, we don't really do combat. We don't like to destroy things if we can avoid it. We like to, you guys might come through and maybe destroy a building or something. I don't know, whatever you guys do, and then we'll just come over afterwards and just fix it right up, build something new.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Honestly,
Phoenix from
if we
the
can,
ashes.
if only we needed more builders than people like knights, I suppose.
What a world that would be, wouldn't it? Oh, the sash. I'm so sorry. I can take that for you. You said Master Valda?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Wow. This is a pretty slash. Okay. I hope to see you around again sometime. Maybe I can watch you practice?
Yeah, if you want. We're right down by the practice yard. There are a lot more people better than me, too, so you'll be entertained by them at least.
What time do you get there?
Earliest.
What time is that?
Right at sunrise.
Okay. And you see that big smile again before you go to leave, and she's like, I'll see you then. Mink.
Nick! Nick! Nick!
You scream as you try dashing through the murky water to catch up to your fallen friend. You're only able to take a few steps before you trip over something in the water, throwing you face first. You scramble to your feet as quickly as you can, but the beast has already set his sights on you. As if you are nothing more than a fly, the toad leaps forward and grabs your arm in its maw. It throws its head back quickly, lifting you up out of the water and into the air for only a brief moment, but that moment is long enough for you to look down into the bottomless pit that is this toad's mouth, before you're effortlessly swallowed whole by the beast. As the warm liquid begins to bubble against your skin and your consciousness slips, you hear muffled voices and the sounds of battle. A calming warm feeling creeps over you as blinding light hits your face. You manage to muster enough strength to open your eyes, just enough to see the faint outline of a face. Don't you worry, sweetie, I got you. And then... Here, put this on. You see Talia Vakdam, a pale, thin, framed woman with black hair pulled tightly into a bun. She's dressed up, even fancier than usual, a purple dress with gold stitching that flows behind her at an unnecessary length. This is enough for you to know that something's going on that you're not gonna like. She tosses a pink dress into your cage, followed by a diaper. What do you do?
Do I have to put this on?
Oh, shut up. You know you do. We have guests coming.
Okay.
And
Remember.
she'll put it back on.
Okay. Remember, you either keep that on, or we'll throw you in a pit and feed you to the hounds as entertainment. It's your choice.
She nods as she's putting on the dress and the diaper.
It's so sad. I'm sad just making this scene. She kind of turns away as you undress from your usual garments to get into this diaper and dress. And then she turns back after you gesture to her that you're done with your words, not with your mouth, not with your body because she can't see you. So, and she grabs the cage you're in and takes you out to the event room. On your way, you pass by portraits of the Vakdam family line, and you see a couple generations worth as you walk down this hall. Nothing you haven't seen before, just one dysfunctional family after another, ending with a portrait of the one you're stuck with now. We see Talia, of course, along with her nasty husband Voller, an overweight balding man with a pencil mustache, adorned with way too much jewelry, almost comically so, along with their daughter, Greta, a spitting image of the two. You cringe just looking at it. And as you pass through the doors to the event room, the stench of overpriced cologne and perfume fills the air, along with fake laughter and forced conversations. Along the walls of the event room are portraits, if you could call them that, of supposed adventures that Voller had been on in his youth. You see a younger, much more fit version of him accomplishing mini tasks, staring down an army of orcs, standing with his chest out and his foot on top of a bugbear with his cane blade to the air. You see another one of him on a horse. It just goes on and on. And along with these portraits, you see the heads of several creatures and animals lining the walls. Some of them even being goblins. Go ahead.
She just makes that noise.
Okay. The dozens of overdressed people fall silent as Talia walks towards the center of the room, where you see a stage has been set up in a pit, only about 5 feet deep, and the pit is about the size of a small car, big enough for you to move around in, but more importantly to the Voctums, big enough for many people to gather around and watch. Talia lowers you down into the pit and opens up the cage, and you hear him, that nasty, disgusting voice that makes your skin crawl. "Ah, you see, my lovely wife has brought us our entertainment for the night. Please allow me to introduce to you the ugliest, meanest, worst creature of your nightmares, the Goblin!" And he lets out that gross, rich, hearty, rich person chuckle, and the crowd of dozens lets out the same forced laughter you're so used to hearing. "I'm just kidding. She's only the ugliest. Murdered her whole family, I did. They'll never steal from anyone else. Now, Mink, come on out. Don't be shy. It's time to dance." And then you hear that dreadful polka music start up.
Oh, God.
What do you do?
She's gonna walk out knowing that if she doesn't listen, she would get thrown with the hounds. And she'll start to dance.
Okay, roll
Awfully.
performance.
Oh, we'll see how good that goes.
Nat 20 right now.
15.
15?
Yes.
Okay, describe what your usual routine looks like.
First she'll do like the normal bouncing around on like one foot like to the polka music anytime it makes the beat, and then does she usually have like props thrown in there as well?
Yeah, you see like a cane or like a ball and stuff just kind of littered around the little stage area.
So as she does her...
Also like a little like ribbon to like flourish and stuff like that.
So as she starts dancing without any props, she'll move to the side of the little area that she's in, and she'll pick up the ball with her head and balance it on top while she grabs the ribbon and spins around. She'll jump up a couple times and the ball will lift up and then bounce back onto her head. And then she'll drop it down, jump on top of it, and just start doing twirls and spins with the ribbon while she is bouncing on the ball. And then towards the end of the song, she will walk the ball around the circle, and at the very end of the song, she'll jump up, balance on one foot while spinning the ribbons towards the crowd.
You hear like scattered applause and people laughing, that gross ass rich person laugh. And people they seem entertained, but more about the fact that you're a goblin, not less about the fact of what you did.
Come on, Erin, hang the parasites.
And so you see Voller smile as he looks into the crowd of entertained people, and then he reaches down for your hand.
She'll hesitantly reach up and grab it.
He pulls you up by your hand onto the ledge of the little pit that you were standing on. He's like, "Now do you guys really want to see something entertaining?" And then he shoves you down off of the pit into the actual staging area of the event room where everybody is. And he's like, release them! And then the hounds come running from the room that they were locked in to the west quarter of the house. And you hear them barking and yipping as they come running towards you.
And she'll just start running and trying to climb and get away from the hounds as fast as possible.
Nectar.
Hello.
So you sit down, you start taking these deep breaths and going into this meditative state that you're so familiar with at this point. And you wait a few minutes. You feel the energies bouncing through you. You feel the calm taking over, and from starting at the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, you feel this tingly sensation set in, and then you open your eyes to see yourself standing in the middle of a field. It's about high noon, and the heat is nearly unbearable.
I resisted.
You're shot
so
6 times.
Welcome to Tangent Tabletop.
We can never have any event happen at high noon, or I will make that joke.
It's high 11:59 a.m.
Almost noon.
Yeah. 15 to noon.
You hear the nearby sounds of farm animals, and that's when it clicks. You turn around quickly to see the house you grew up in, a big, simple farmhouse made of wood and stone, and the front door opens, almost to invite you in. What do?
I run into that house.
As you step up onto the porch, you hear crying to your right before you enter.
I stop and see what the crying is.
As you turn your head, you see a nearly transparent version of yourself. Younger, maybe 6, 7. And then you hear a familiar voice from behind you. Dang it, Nectar! What'd you do? Are you okay? And as you begin to turn around, something passes through you. And it's a strange enough feeling as is, but then you see him. Algus. An older gentleman in his late 60s with matted brown hair fading to gray, dressed in a simple white and tan tunic, approaches and kneels next to this younger version of you. I didn't mean to, Pa. I can't do your accent, man. I'm sorry.
It changed over the years. It's okay.
Yeah. And you see Algus reach over and grab something from onto the porch, and that isn't there anymore. He just reaches and grabs at nothing, and he slips whatever it was into his belt. It's okay, buddy. Accidents happen. He then helps the younger version of you up. How about we go get you cleaned up and have some tea? Does that sound good? And as they walk through the door, they disappear.
I'm pretty sure Nectar's crying pretty heavily at seeing Algus again.
Mm-hmm. That's a fair assessment. And, are you going in?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So as you walk into the familiar, comforting house that you grew up in, your surroundings begin to change and shift around. What you expected to be the living room of your childhood home is now a long and dark hallway, with dark red doors continuing on for what looks like an eternity on either side. What do?
Oh. I'm gonna start fluttering into the air and just slowly creeping my way down the hall.
Okay. Are you going, all of the doors are marked, but it's with a star. There's not the name of the star, it's just a detailed etching of like varying sizes, different colors and stuff like that. And as you make your way down this hallway, are you trying to go into any of them?
As I'm floating down and like noticing the different stars and sizes, do any of them seem like particularly different, like very standout?
None of them are super standout, but you kind of realize like as you're walking down the hallway, you're noticing the varying sizes, the varying colors, and then you kind of get the idea in your head to look for the one that disappeared.
I'm gonna start looking for that one that disappeared.
Go ahead and roll perception, investigation, any of that.
10
Okay.
on perception.
So you continue down this hallway for quite a ways, and then you see a door that looks somewhat familiar, and like it could be the door that you thought it was. And as you go to open this door, the handle slips through your hand and disappears into an orange and yellow spark. And then you turn around to see handle after handle after handle on the doors disappear into the same fashion. All but one. A few doors down, you see one handle remains available to you.
Walk up to that door and like examine the star on the door.
This could be it.
I'm gonna reach down tentatively and grab that handle, yank this door open.
As you open this door, you find yourself standing in the middle of a road in a small town. Many of the buildings around you have been destroyed and continue to smoke from the ashes they have been reduced to. You hear a distant roar from behind you, and you turn to see a large mountain that you are familiar with, Elcor Swallow. You see a large dragon silhouette flying in front of the sun from over the mountain. It faces you, outstretches its wings, and lets out another roar, but this time much louder. The ground begins to shake as the base of the mountain almost seems to begin to break free from the ground. Rocks and trees begin to crumble as large crack rises all the way up to the top of the mountain, and then darkness. Complete darkness. A blinding light just shoots out from where the sun was moments ago, and then nothing remains but the stars in the sky. No sun, no light.
Oh.
No sun, no light.
Sorry.
Taz, I need you to leave that. I need you to leave this in. I desperately need you to leave this in, Taz.
Please leave it in, Taz.
Oh,
Incredible.
I'm so sorry.
Christ.
As you should be.
I turned off all my normal work alarms. I'm so sorry.
You're okay.
That was beautiful, though.
It was.
Incredible.
It could not have been better timing, to be honest.
Oh, frankly, yeah.
Anyways, no sun, no light, just darkness. And then your eyes open to the distant sound of a dog barking. Nick,
Yeah. That's
how's it
me.
going, pal?
Crushed my head by a frog.
Yeah.
Big old ribbit boy, as I refer to him as.
How'd it feel?
Crunchy.
Okay. So you've been in and out of consciousness for a while now. You're disorientated and have no idea how long it's been. You're lost and can't seem to figure out where Mink and Thornhill are, and you're not really sure how much longer you can keep yourself conscious. All you've really been doing is being able to direct your horse where to go when you're awake, and it hasn't seemed to work out in your favor yet. You hear a branch snap behind you, and for the first time you notice Hank in the little side bag of your saddle as he begins to growl in that direction. You also see smoke rising from the trees to your east. What do you do?
I, if I'm able to, kind of reach over to Hank and just like pat his head to try to calm him down. And if he looks up at me, I bring up my other hand and like shush. And as I bring my well, actually no, my left hand doesn't work. I forgot. But I bring my right hand back, and I just keep a hand on my whip at the first sign of trouble, essentially.
Okay. And are you going in any direction in particular?
I'll make my way east.
Okay, towards the camp.
Yeah.
All right. As you make your way down to this camp, and you hear branches snapping behind you on occasion, you feel yourself fading from consciousness again. And then you're walking down a trail, returning home after a date with Emerald. Will you explain where you lived in the City of Bells and kind of how this date went?
Yeah, so Nick's probably a little stressed out. Emerald talked him into going into one of the Druid Drove. Wow, that's fucked. Groves, that's what I'm saying. I'm on drugs. Anyway, Druid groves close to the city, which we generally aren't supposed to do, especially as trainees. But it was nice. I even showed her that kata that I had described to her when we first met. It was a nice moment. Nick is probably heading over to the Temple of Honor, where he kind of has quarters in the basement. And that's probably where he's heading now. Sneaking, probably, given the direction he's coming from.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth.
Okay. Not great. 9.
Okay, so yeah, you're kind of sneaking your way through into what did you say it was called?
The Temple of Honor.
Temple of Honor. Okay. As you're sneaking your way through, you open the gate, and as you do so, you notice Archbishop Green standing up against the wall, and he looks a little upset with you.
I sigh and walk over to him with my kind of head hung, and I'm like, Archbishop?
Dewrider?
Is there anything I can do for you?
Yeah. Explain to me where you've been. And then at the same time he asks that, Emerald comes up from behind you, and she's like, it was my idea, sir. I'm sorry. And
I chose to go, Archbishop. We took a walk near the Druid Grove.
And he kind of nods his head slowly. It's like, and then he nods his head quicker, and he's like, you just took a walk by the Druid Grove, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. We'll keep this between us. But
Won't happen
I don't
again.
want it to happen. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. You're free to go.
All right. I kind of pass by him like I'm still watching him, like I'm not turning my back to him for whatever reason. Like passing by a bear, essentially. And then once I get at a safe distance, I kind of make my way to my rooms.
Okay. And Emerald follows, of course. Mm-hmm. And what does your room look like?
It's real sparse. There's like a desk with writing implement scrolls. There's a bookshelf. Candles on both walls. And as I enter, I light both of them and probably sit down to start cleaning my sword on my desk.
Okay. Yeah, so as you walk into the room and you sit down anxiously at your desk to start cleaning your sword, as nerves kind of set in because you realize what you're about to do, and you're starting to feel those nerves come in. And Emerald sits on your... oh my god, I made a typo, I just want you to know. Emerald, I wrote Emerald sits on your head. And I meant
Hell yeah!
Really amping this story up.
Hell
Taz.
yeah. Hell yeah. Explicit tags coming in, baby. No, but Emerald sits on your bed and lays her head back with her feet just off the ground as they don't quite reach the floor. And she stares up at the ceiling with a smile on her face. And she's crazy to think of how long we've been together, isn't it?
Yeah. When we first met, I was just some idiot who cut a sash. I've been knighted since then.
Yeah, I know, man. That she lets out a big smile. She's like, that feels like it was just yesterday.
Yeah. What I probably did to plan for this, this was after I had woven my first whip, and I've kind of got the item tied to the whip, and the whip handle is kind of by my feet, so I start to kind of like move it towards me. Without...
Roll stealth.
Yeah. Sleight of hand, maybe?
Yeah, sleight of hand work.
Okay. 11. Not great.
I'll roll a general perception check for her.
I'm distracting her by talking to her, though, so...
That's true. Rolls advantage.
Yeah. Okay. 15.
Well, she only rolled a 9, so...
Classic.
You're good.
Fucking
Yeah.
idiot.
You
Blind as a
succeed.
bitch. Excellent.
Oh, yeah. You succeed. So what exactly are you doing?
I put my sword down with the rag. I fold the rag and kind of get all that stuff moved over. And as I kind of like sit up, I grab the sword that I made for her. I kind of roll my chair over in front of her, put it on her lap, and without saying anything, I unfold my robes and present her
Your
with
penis. Sorry.
Classic. The world's most intricate dick pic.
Well, like that's literally what I imagined because I was.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not unraveling my robes. Yeah, no, it's my kind of like sacred robes that I keep for special occasions and not what I'm wearing currently.
Special
Pervert.
occasion robes. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
You're gonna feel like a dick in a minute. But yeah, I kind of unfold it and show her the silver rapier that I forged for her.
And she kind of looks at it questioningly because she's not familiar with your the Knights of Honor's
Yeah, I
habits.
grab her hand and I kind of put her hand on the handle and I say, honor generally, when we want to devote our lives to somebody, the way we do that is we give them something that they can defend themselves with. And as we continue being together, I find myself wanting to devote my life to you more and more. So this is kind of a way of asking you to marry me.
Nick Dewrider.
And by kind of, I do mean literally, I'm asking you to marry me.
And she laughs and she's like, You're being serious, aren't you?
I am, yeah. It's hard to forge a sword, so it'd be shitty to do it as a joke.
she laughs that gross laugh that I just did.
Yeah, disgusting.
and-
I take the sword away. Disgusting laugh.
If someone forged me a sword and then proposed, I would definitely marry them.
Absolutely. Honestly.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that more?
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
why
fun.
don't we gift
Yeah.
like our spouses or fiancés swords or daggers? That would be far better
Literally.
than a ring.
Your little fucking flower dagger you posted about on Facebook.
Yes, I need the flower dagger.
Honestly, I would love it if someone fucking forged you a massive fuck off greatsword. That is just
that would be
two
great.
of you.
Yes,
That would be so
Yes.
good.
That
I
would
need
be
that.
good.
Yeah.
That in my life. Sorry.
She laughs and then she like holds the sword like close to her and then leans in, and before she kisses you she says yes softly and then leans in for a big old kiss.
Cool. I reciprocate.
It's good, and it'd be weird if you
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah. Imagine if I just fucked off.
Mink,
Yes.
you're currently hiding in a tree with the hounds at the base jumping up and growling at you. Just waiting for the moment that you slip or jump down, you know, they're very angry and very hungry. They look like they haven't eaten in a few days.
Throw him some cheese, Mink.
I don't have cheese yet.
Before the cheese days, the dark days.
You said I'm
So
in a
this
tree,
this
right?
is a habit that yep. It
I'm
happens
gonna-
quite often of you hiding in a tree from these hounds. What is your usual what do you usually do to pass time as you're hiding in these trees?
I imagine I usually climb up the same tree, so there's little scratches from my nail of how many days I've been hiding in this tree.
Fair enough. And
And
go
the
ahead.
area that I'm in has very few branches and or twigs because originally when this first happened, she tried and distract them by throwing a twig, but then they were too focused on her, so she just sits up there and usually looks at the house, sees what lights are on, and then hopes that the dogs get bored.
So yeah, you hear a whistle coming from the house, and the dogs depart. And you see a drunk Talia stumbling towards the tree that you're hiding in, with your cage in hand. It's probably around 2 a.m. now, and all the other guests have gone home. She stands at the base of the tree. All right, you ugly little thing. It's time to go to bed. Don't go yet any ideas yet, or I'll call the hounds back over here for their dinner.
And she'll climb down and get right into her cage, knowing better.
And as she carries you through those dark halls that are somehow decorated beyond belief yet lifeless, she stumbles, banging you against walls and furniture. And anytime you make so much of a noise, she'll purposely do it again. And every time lets out a gross, rich person laugh. She sets you down on your cage's little podium in the most unkempt room of the house. Cobwebs, dust, and trinkets that Talia and Greta grew tired of litter the floor. She sneers and chuckles as she takes one last look at you before setting the keys to your cage down on the dresser near you and stumbles backwards, unknowingly knocking them off before making her way out of the room. The sound of her footsteps fade in the distance, and there they are. The keys to your freedom on the floor, just barely out of arm's reach. What do you do?
I look around. I look around. Sorry, I was still in Mink's voice.
Mink's gonna take over one day.
Oh my god. I look
Waiting for
around and
I can't wait. I can't wait till the day that I'm at work and I just hear cheese from fucking the waste cage at the end of the hallway.
probably.
Wow, get a load of this guy bragging that he has a job. What a piece of shit.
We work at the same place.
Oh shit.
Do I see anything else that's like within my grasp that I could get the keys a little closer?
You are still wearing your dress.
Okay, so I'm gonna take off my dress and kind of you know how like twist it up to like where it's like one long fabric, and then through the crack of the cage, aim it behind the keys and drag it closer.
Okay. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand. I mean, this is a memory, so we know it's gonna happen, but let's see how long it takes you to do.
19.
Holy shit, huge.
Hell
Massive.
yeah. I love when the rolls line up with the memories.
That's my favorite Fallout Boy song.
Fuck yeah, Bryson. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. So yeah, you do this effortlessly, and there you are in this cage with the keys to your cage. To
I'm
freedom.
fucking getting out of there.
Okay. What are you doing with your diaper? Are you leaving it on? Just checking, you know.
I mean, I'll leave it on.
I mean, you might as well. You gotta walk for a while.
I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna be naked.
Hell yeah.
Powerful.
Explicit tags on point.
Explicit.
can't
Until she
wait for-
steals one of Talia's long scarves and takes that. So.
Gross. All right. Yeah, so you break out of this cage, no problem, and you're now standing into the room that you've kind of become accustomed to seeing every day for most of your life. Trinkets litter the floors, cobwebs, dusty. What are you taking with you?
I know which drawer would have like something just to cover me up that I can still run in. It would
Okay.
be the bottom dresser.
Describe what you pull out.
A gun.
So I pull out this really.
The man with the gun.
I pull out a gun. I pull out this black long scarf adorned with golden and silver flowers and little tassels at the end. Mink is just gonna rip off the tassels at the end and basically force her arms through it so she has a rope. And she'll
Okay.
take one of the a couple safety pins that are on top of the dresser and just close it for her real quick.
All right, what about trinket-wise? What are you taking?
Trinket-wise, she is taking a couple of hair things that Greta and Talia left in the room, just so that she has something to get some money from. Probably one of them has a horse on it that is reared up, and it's silver. That's basically a silver comb that stays in the hair, and she probably takes like a few golden and jeweled and bezeled bobby pins.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, the door itself to this room isn't locked because of course you are in a cage, so like why? Why would they be that cautious, you know? They're dumb rich people who think they know better and are better than everybody. So they did not lock this door. And you make your way out into the hall, and there's a straight shot to the front door if you want to go that route. Otherwise, if you want to take some food with you,
Kill
you know
all
where
the
that is, too.
nobles.
She does take some food with her.
Okay, so you head back to the event room, hoping that the dogs are locked up for the night. Go ahead and roll stealth.
Okie dokie.
If she fails, is she gonna die and be like erased from history? Like
That would be pretty cool.
that would be rad.
I am the TVA. Look at me. I'm the TVA.
10.
Okay. So as you make your way through these halls, You hear footsteps coming from the opposite direction, walking towards you. It's on the other side of the entrance to the event room, so you can get to the event room and either try to hide in there, or you can turn around and head out the front door. It's up to you. There's a
that
side.
shit, I'm out.
You're going out the front door?
Yep.
Okay. Are you running?
Moving as fast as I can while being quiet.
Okay. So you make your way out the front door without any troubles as of yet. And as you walk out, you see the gate to the house at the end of their little driveway, even though, no cars exist. It's for carriages, people. Fucking remember carriages? Because I didn't for a second.
Let there be cars, Taz.
No.
Why?
Because that's our Monster of the Week campaign.
Okay.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. And won't be for like another 2 years.
I know, I'm so excited, man. I'm so fucking excited to play Monster of the Week. I've thought so much about this city that
I'm going to make another scumbag character.
I know you will, and I'm excited for it.
Honestly, if Nick dies, you guys are going to get the best scumbag in the world.
But yeah. So you kind of know this yard pretty well. You've never fully been able to escape, but you've also never fully been alone. So what do you do?
I'm gonna go the fastest route that would be away from this mansion. So probably closest area to get shelter is past the fence to the west.
To the west?
Yes.
Okay, how do you get over their gate? Or how do you get through it?
I'm nimble.
Nimble? So you're gonna try to climb?
Yes.
Okay. Fuck. Make an athletics check?
Acrobatics, you mean?
Acrobatics, yes. Sorry. I almost straight said make a climb
that
check,
was
but
almost
that's
a
not
19.
even. Yes.
9.
So yeah, you start trying to climb this gate, and it's was raining the day before, and it's still pretty muddy out, so you're a little slippery, and you can't quite make your way over the gate. But there are a few other ways that you think you might be able to get around. If you jump from the tree onto the wall surrounding the house, you may be able to do that at risk to hurting yourself. Otherwise, you can try to chip through the bricks, because there's a loose spot in the wall as well.
Probably would try the
have
tree
their danger.
first.
Okay. So you climb back towards the tree, and you climb up onto the tree, no problem, because you've done this quite a few times. How many do you think, Mink?
Oh, at least over 400 times.
Hell yeah. Okay.
You guys party a lot.
They're rich, dude.
people.
And you start making your way off onto the branch facing towards the wall. It's a little bit of a jump, but nothing that you for sure can't do. It's going to be sketchy, but you think you can do it. Make your roll.
Jump. Okay. 24.
Effortlessly, you take a deep breath. You let yourself calm down, calm your nerves. Freedom is just a leap away. And you begin darting on the branch and jump over the wall. Nectar.
Hello.
Your eyes open abruptly to the sounds of a dog barking near your camp. It's still dark out, and you could guess, judging by the positioning of the stars, it's probably around 3 a.m. Go ahead and give me a nature check or survival check.
Survival is, wow, 11.
Hell yeah. It
The rolls
sounds...
today are great.
That it wasn't a hard roll, you're good. It sounds like the dog is in danger and is to the west side of camp, not far away. Now, what do you do, and how are you approaching?
So I'm gonna just use a cantrip druidcraft, knock out my campfire.
Okay.
And I'm gonna float like into the tree line.
Okay.
And then just start making my way over there like quickly, but not like rushing.
Okay, are you trying to approach stealthy?
Not really.
Okay.
As an animal in trouble, I just want to go like see what the hell's going on.
Okay. So the first thing you notice is a small direwolf puppy standing guard over a bloodied unconscious body on the ground, growling and barking at two small reptilian figures. One of them laughs and picks up a rock from the ground and chucks it at the dog. Then they both laugh. I love the young ones. Always so delicious. And then they stop and turn around and they see you hovering in the air. And they're like, Oi, what are you doing out here?
What are you doing out here?
Getting dinner. This is nothing to you. Leave.
No, you're not going to sit here and bully this puppy.
No. All right, then. Welcome to dessert, little fairy. And roll initiative.
Am I able to roll initiative too?
No, you're unconscious, buddy. I'm sorry.
All right.
It's a 19.
19?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Okay. On a initiative 19. Oh, I guess you can roll initiative because your puppy can act.
Oh, cool.
If he wants to
Okay.
fight, let him fight.
Cool. 8.
Okay. All right. So you'll be playing Hank.
Love to hear it. I'm gonna be
Alright.
rolling with my physical dice because I don't want to fuck around with the.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, Nectar, you act first.
Are these two dudes close together?
Yeah, they were talking like borderline hand in hand.
So, I'm gonna hold up my staff that has my like little ring of my star maps on it.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna let out a spell from it. I'm gonna throw out Entangle on the ground.
Okay.
So they need to make strength saves.
Strength saves? Oh
Yes.
boy, they're not strong. Oh, 16 and 8.
One of them fails.
Okay, so what happens to them?
So he's restrained until the spell ends, which is I think a minute.
Okay. Oi, what the hell is this?
I want you to stay right where you are for a minute, okay?
Uh,
And then I'm gonna flutter over to the unconscious body and see if it is breathing.
yes, you can see that his chest is rising slowly but steadily.
Okay, I'm gonna like try to not like react to that like visually and just fly back into the air.
Okay. All right, so that's Kobold. He's going to attack you. He's gonna pull out a sling that he had on his back, and he's going to start spinning it around to attack you. And he's got a whole 6. And then, can the other one still attack, or is he just restrained? Right?
Yeah, he's just restrained.
Okay. So yeah.
Restrained, the condition for restrained, this is also, so we want to start talking about the rules a little bit more as we play. So a restrained creature's speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonuses to its speed.
Okay.
Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, which mean you roll 2d20s and take the highest. And the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage, meaning the opposite, you roll 2d20s and take the lowest. They also have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, so the creature can attack, but any attacks it makes are going to be at disadvantage.
Okay. All right.
It can also make a strength save if it wants, or strength check if it wants to get out.
If
There's a bunch of
wants
like
to. It's full
Yeah.
action.
vines wrapped
I
around
mean,
its legs.
it
and stuff.
does want to get out, but it also isn't in any hurry to move too much because you're flying, so it's not like they can get to you. So he's just gonna roll a hit. Does 13 hit you?
No.
Okay, so he misses. Hank.
Hank is going to go to that restrained boy and rip out his throat.
All right.
So, does a fucking 19 plus 5 hit?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You have this as like a young direwolf,
There is no young direwolf stat sheet.
Okay.
Technically, it's still a tiny beast, and I think dire wolves are mediums, so I'm sure there are better dire wolves, but this is the only stat block I have.
Okay, well,
Tell you
we'll
what, though,
have to
instead
talk
of
about
the
this a little bit later.
instead of the 2d6 plus 3, I'll do a 1d6 plus 3. So,
Okay, that sounds good.
8 points of damage.
Hey, you do rip out its throat. Describe how Hank does it.
Yeah, so he just jumps up, grabs right onto the trachea, and just tears it out. His snout, adorably covered in blood, he stares at the other kobold and barks.
All right, Nectar.
So seeing this little direwolf charge forward and take that one out, I'm pretty confident that we probably have this. So I'm actually gonna float back down and cast Cure Wounds on this unconscious person.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your HP.
9.
Okay. So Nick, you do gain 9 HP, but unfortunately, you're
still
still
unconscious.
unconscious.
That was actually the perfect amount of health points to get me back up to full.
Oh, nice.
So you see these wounds begin to heal up, some of them. So unfortunately, you you see this young man with his left arm completely black and blue to an extent that you've never seen before, with a wrapping around his leg, and your magic has no effect on either of those. And all you really do is close up the wounds on his head that were bleeding.
Okay, so he doesn't look like he's dying, like in the process of dying though anymore?
No, but
Okay.
yeah, you're gonna need to take him somewhere to get healed because this is out of your...
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't gonna like die while laying there
Cool.
while we're finishing this off.
All right.
And then just flutter back into the air.
Okay. So this kobold was like, "Oi!
What?
I don't like you."
I guess the fucking feeling's mutual then.
Yeah, he does 16 hit you?
Yeah.
16 hits, cool. Yeah.
Dead on.
What?
Dead on.
Hell yeah. So he throws a sling at you for 6 damage, and he's like, he just like smiles with his little like fucking gross dragon mouth.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's Hank's turn.
Awesome. Hank, you're not within 5 feet of this guy, are you?
No.
Okay. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
Cool. Another 8 points of damage.
All right, kill this other kobold.
Yeah, this one, he just, he does that thing where he tackles him to the ground and does, the police dog thing where he just fucking tears at him for a few minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right. Hell yeah.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes on for a little too long.
No, I think Nectar even says it like, oh, it's fucking brutal.
And yeah, so as you approach this unconscious body, you see a young man in his 20s with a short red mohawk with brown fuzz growing on the sides of his head, along with the beginnings of a beard forming into it. He wears a muddy green and gold cloak over very basic clothing. There's blood dripping from his head, but the wounds have been healed up now, and his arm is black and blue to an extent that you've never seen before, with wrappings around his leg. He's alive, but even with the magic you tried to heal him with, there's no way you'll be able to heal him up completely. He needs help. What do you do?
I leave him.
Do I know of a place that might be able to do much greater healing than me? That's nearby.
You do. If you can find
I'm
it.
gonna see if I can even carry this hunk of a man.
So yes.
Because I don't think I can. Initially.
Nick does weigh 185 pounds.
I have the strength for that, but I'm just I imagine as a small fairy trying to carry a dude.
You could probably drag him.
Well, I'm gonna start dragging him then. Actually, I'm gonna look towards the pup and see if it's okay first before I just take off.
Oh yeah, he's fine. He immediately lays onto Nick's unconscious body after he tore into this guy's throat for way too long. He just went over and laid on his chest.
I just put my hand out and I say, well, I assume this is your owner, but maybe you could help me drag him to town?
Town is way too far away. When I said that you know of a place, it's the Feywild.
Oh, that makes more sense.
That's the closest place that you can think of. But the problem is those gates move.
So for the time being, I'm going to take him back to my camp.
Mm-hmm.
And put him up in my hammock.
And
then just do an inspection to make sure he's not injured elsewhere that I didn't see.
As you're taking him to your camp, give me a perception check.
15.
Okay, so you do see, I mean, I guess it should have been nature investigation. It's fine, though. You see hoof prints booking it towards the farther north as well, and you assume that that's this guy's horse that he likely fell off of unconscious.
Did I break my neck on my way down?
Nah, you're good. I'm not
right.
going to do that to you,
Want to
pal.
roll for it?
No.
All right. Coward.
So all of a sudden in one night, I have to take care of a puppy, an unconscious dude, and find a fucking horse.
Hell yeah.
That really was a sign of bad omens to come, that star. So I'm going to do that, though. I'm going to, inspect his body, make sure, it's all good, and then I'm going to try to track down this horse.
Okay. Roll survival. See if you can track him down.
Jesus, 10.
10? Okay, so as you begin to follow these tracks, you lose them after a while. However, you notice a light that wasn't there before. And from that direction of the lights, you hear faint voices that sound like singing.
Oh, that could either be great or terrifying. I'm going to investigate it. Start moving that direction.
Okay. So as you head towards the direction of the light and music, it becomes somewhat clear. Sort of. You see an ancient tree that definitely wasn't there before, towering far above the rest, covered in vines that crawl all the way up, almost like veins. The trunk of the tree has an arch, seemingly formed hundreds of years ago, when the tree was still young, and surrounding the arch is hundreds of fireflies, almost making it look like a pitch-dark doorway into nothing. But the music is louder, though still muffled as if you were standing outside of a tavern. It's coming from within the tree. Nectar, you know this to be the entrance to the Feywild. You also know there's no better healers in all of the worlds than the elves of Sterling Grove. What do you do?
I stare at that door and I'm like, fuck, I still gotta find that fucking horse, though. Well, hopefully I'll find it on the way back. And I run back, or I fly back and see if, make sure he's still okay, make sure the dog's still okay, and then start moving them towards the gateway.
Okay. And as you get to the gateway and drag Nick into it, you take your first step in and... Mink. Your eyes open to the chirping of birds nearby. That's where we'll end our episode.
Rat man. You're a rat man, Taz.
I'm sorry,
I'm gonna accept somebody's fucking coffee.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
sworn into servitude because of you.
No, you got me. It's cool.
Okay, cool.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
How's everybody feeling?
Nervous.
Unconscious.
Yeah.
You're all alive. Congratulations.
But at what cost?
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, I love the Feywild, guys. I'm so excited.
I'm also excited.
Oh, yeah. Nectar's having a big day.
Well, big night.
I found Nectar's big day out. I did find a direwolf puppy stab block for a homebrew.
Cool.
So I'm sending that to you now.
Sounds great. Are you sending it on Facebook? Or nope.
I just sent it through Discord.
Cool.
Nectar's big day out fits the fucking naming convention I use for all my backstory stuff.
Honestly.
Also, I will not kill Hank.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you wanted me, because I don't know how long you want him to be a puppy for, but I could just set his HP to the maximum possible for a direwolf.
No. If he goes down for any reason, then he'll just be unconscious for a while. I'm not gonna fuck with killing a puppy on the show.
All right, fair enough, man.
The listeners would murder me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so stay tuned for the next episode. I'm very excited to have Nectar on the show. He's a lot of fun to play around with.
Yeah, it was a very good time. Glad we could all communicate with Nectar.
Yeah. I wanted to keep you separated as much as possible for the first little bit, just to give Nectar some time to shine. And I think he did good.
I'm glad I had someone to talk to.
An unconscious body. Hell yeah.
And a dude who did not like me very much, apparently.
Yeah. True. Sorry, Mink.
Suck shit, Mink.
Sorry for what?
Bringing up the past.
Oh.
PTSD! Ah!
Bethesda.
I know I'm not supposed to like them, but I really fucking hate those guys.
The moment Taz said that they were rich.
He did the laugh the second time, and I was like, yeah, I fucking really hate
Honestly,
these guys.
Taz, the moment that you started talking as the gentleman, I was fucking furious. That guy's voice sucked.
That was
You
disgusting.
should thank me
know.
because I gave him the description of the guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you would be the one to decide how disgusting a voice would be, wouldn't you?
Well, Taz also said no to the Russian accent.
I was like, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'll make him sound like a rich asshole, though.
Incredible.
Hell yeah.
I think Nectar won this episode.
Yeah.
Nectar won?
Nectar won.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Congratulations, Nectar. Take a
I mean,
point
I got
of
engaged,
inspiration.
but, whatever.
Yeah, I was in the past, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I will take a point of inspiration. I don't know how to update that further past just having inspiration on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, so technically with 5th edition, and here's another Rules with Bryson segment of the show. D&D, inspiration isn't generally something that you can stockpile, so it's a binary. You either have inspiration or you don't. This show, we do it differently. So if you go over to D&D Beyond and you click the Notes tab, under the other notes, that's where I keep track
I just
of my
did that too.
inspiration.
I just put
Cool.
+1 inspo in there.
Yep,
Cool. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and close out this episode, and then yeah. Everybody plug your pluggables. Bryson.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at WannaToothpick. Sometimes I'm funny there. I just made a joke the other day on Twitter that I was... what was it? Go find it on Twitter. No, I tweeted microdosing One Piece by kicking the shit out of cops. So if you like that kind of joke, hit me up. I also stream on Twitch sometimes, and we'll probably stream on Twitch a lot more, given some recent events. So you can find me on Twitch at the Murderfish.
All right. Dungeon Mommy?
You can find me at bb_legs20 on Instagram. That's pretty much all where I'm at
For now.
now.
And Erin Deaton.
I mean, I guess you can find me on Twitter at Detonic, but I don't really check it much, so...
What about your stream? Did you want to plug your stream?
No, because I haven't been doing that for a long time. If I get back into it, I'll plug it, but I don't want people to go check out something that hasn't been active in a year and a half.
Follow an inactive stream, guys.
Or my inactive YouTube, one of the two.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And you can find me at Zaphael, but probably don't. Instead, find the show at Asphalt Studios on Facebook. Join the Facebook group at Tangent Tabletop Podcast, or you can look Tangent Avenue up on Instagram. You guys can check out our other show, Tangent Avenue, for some pretty interesting topics. We just did a cryptid episode a couple weeks ago, which was a lot of fun. We just changed our format recently, which is also a lot of fun.
It's so much better. If
It's
you listen,
it's easier for me to edit because I always end up editing out like 15 minutes worth of audio.
Yep. And it's just generally funny. If you listen to Tangent Avenue in the past, you're like, oh, this is just one guy talking and one guy saying that's a cool name, which is a very fair criticism. We've done a lot less of that. So check it out and see if you like it.
We still get cool names, though.
Yeah. Oh, my God. There was a really good one at the Cryptid episode. I can't even remember it, but fuck, it was good.
Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, and then also, if you guys are interested in being an NPC in Tangent Tabletop, just go ahead and join the Facebook group. If you're active in that group, then that puts you in for a chance. If you invite people, when somebody joins the group and accepts that invitation, it will prompt them to give me the name of the person that invited them, and that will put you in as well. There's a few other ways to do it. Tweet about the show using the Tangent Tabletop hashtag, or yeah, there's other things too. I need to make a note of this so I have them all. But yeah. There's plenty of ways. We have a couple NPCs down already, which will be introduced in next episode, which is exciting. We don't want to have to pay for advertising if we can avoid it, so we're stealing some stuff from the McElroys and adding onto it. So
hey, they're the ones who sold that fucking book, so we can steal as much as we want from them.
That's true.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You sell a book, you give it away.
Also, Bryson.
What?
Tangent Avenue, I told you that I hated the McElroys. I just want you to know that was a joke entirely.
I'm aware.
I do love them. Okay,
We
cool.
both love them so much.
Yeah, they're very good. Anyways, thanks everybody for listening. See you next week.
Say PTSD!
Bye!
Bye!
This was an Asphalt Studios production.